Hey guys, we are going to be doing another tier list, and this one is the best rock and metal bands. Obviously, there's plenty of bands that are not included in this that I would have included, and there's plenty of bands on here that I probably wouldn't have put on this at all, but sure. I could have made my own list, I guess, but it's just easier to find lists on the actual website, so we're going to start out with stuff like this for now. I hope you guys enjoyed my Linkin Park all singles tier list. If you saw it, if not, it's all good. It's not going away. So yeah, this is round two of tier lists for me, and we have returning as the top tier is GOAT, then second is Great, then we have Solid, then we have Never Listened to. I don't want to put that all the way at the bottom because I feel like that connotation is that it's not good. So I'd rather just put it somewhere in the middle. I feel like that's more fair. Second from the bottom is mediocre. And then finally we have trash for stuff that I really don't like. So there's that. All right. Let's kick off the list then. With Judas Priest. Judas Priest I'm gonna throw in Great. They are one of the godfathers of heavy metal, and Rob Halford's got a really impressive vocal range. Just they wrote some really cool stuff that wasn't being done. So I like a few Judas Priest songs a lot. So I'm gonna throw them up there. I think they're a really good band. Then we have Alice in Chains. They're gonna be they're goats. Alice in Chains is incredible, especially with Lane and Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley. That vocal combination was so insane, so good, way ahead of its time. I loved everything they were doing back in the 90s. And even now, like that they're still playing. They got a new vocalist. It's still pretty solid. It's not what it used to be, but this to me, I'm counting this as like 90s peak Alice in Chains. So that's where that's going to go for me. Let's move on to My Chemical Romance. A lot of people are probably going to be mad at this, but I'm going to put them in mediocre. I'm not going to give them trash because they do have some really good songs. But I don't like most of their stuff, but they have a couple songs that are really, really good, so I'll give them that. I don't know. A lot of people my age love them. They just kind of grew up on them, but for me, I don't. I never really saw the hype. I don't think Gerard Way has a very good singing voice, and I just never really was a huge fan of a lot of their songs. So, yeah, they'll stay here just because they do have. I'll give them that. They have some hits. So, the Strokes, right here too. I don't know. Another one that has some hits, but not really my not my style. Another one that was really big growing up, but I just never really got into. So, you know, Pearl Jam. Um, 10 is one of the best albums ever made, so I'll put them in great. They have some other good stuff from aside from that, but 10 is what really puts them over for me. What a debut album! One of the best debut albums ever. And I like to joke around that I have this theory that Eddie Vedder is the one who killed Kurt Cobain and Chris Cornell and Scott Weiland and all the other. Just look at it. Who else is alive from the heyday of grunge? Nobody, right? Just Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. So it's all Eddie Vedder's fault. True story. Um, then we're gonna get to the Who. Uh, Trash. Like I don't hate all music. I don't hate music from this time period for the most part, but I just really don't like the Who at all. I never have. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the bands from that time period, but definitely The Who is one of my least favorites. Oasis, they're gonna join them. You know what? I'm gonna rank these tiers now. I'm gonna try to do that from now on. I'm gonna try to make sure that I rank the bands within the tiers. I'm gonna keep Judas Priest ahead of Pearl Jam just because I think they're more influential. U2, very mixed bag. I feel like they had a lot of really good songs earlier in their career, but they haven't done too much. Haven't done too much for me lately, but I'll put them in solid. I think they have enough in their discography to at least earn that right because they have some really, really good songs. So, you know, AC/DC, they're gonna go here too. I mean, they're not really my style. I don't like look for their songs for the most part, but every now and then if something comes on, it's fine. Like they're so legendary that I can't put them any lower than that. I don't know. Radiohead. Creep is an amazing song, but other than that, I could not care less about Radiohead. So they're gonna go in mediocre for me. They're gonna go the top of mediocre though, because Creep is like one of my favorite songs ever. The Eagles are. I put the Eagles up here. It's solid. They just not really a band that I listen to a lot, but they have a lot of solid songs, and they were just really good, especially vocally. Like there's not a lot of bands that were ever this good vocally as the Eagles. So good, really good band. Not my favorite, but really good. Avenged Sevenfold is going to go tier. People probably be mad at me. People probably hate my taste in music, but I'm not apologizing for it. That's just what it is. Avenged Sevenfold is one of my favorite bands of all time, so I'll put them right there. Sorry, guys, but not sorry. Pink Floyd. Don't like Pink Floyd at all. Never have. Their music's just too trippy and out there for me. People say they're really great and influential, but I don't know. I just can't. Never got into it. Never could. Rolling Stones. Mediocre. People are going to think that I just hate on music from the 60s and 70s and all this, but I don't know. It just wasn't really anything I could grasp on for a lot of the stuff. Green Day. Their earlier material is pretty solid, but after 2000, I don't like anything that they've done. So, they'll go here. That's fine. They're gonna go. I'll put them here. Everything from basically American Idiot on is just not good to me. I don't know. I also find Billy Joe Armstrong's voice to be kind of irritating. So, but you know what? Dookie's good, and they have a couple other good songs from that time period, so I'm not going to be too harsh on them. Motley Crue is mediocre. They have a couple of songs that are okay, but they're just not very good. Vince Neil is a terrible vocalist. Have you seen the videos of him lately? Oh my god, if you haven't, go look them up. it's 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 not even that he's just let himself go, and he needs to really, if he's going to do that at a high level, he needs to get back on it. So, I don't know. I think they should just quit while they're ahead, but whatever. Megadeth. Sorry, Not a fan. I don't know. Dave Mustaine's a good guitarist. Terrible vocalist. Don't know. They're like, I don't know. There's just something about them that they don't. Not good. I'm going to keep moving because I don't have much to say about them. Creedence Clearwater Revival. They're fine. Uh, yeah, that's about it. They're fine. Deep Purple. Um, I don't really know much about Deep Purple. I've heard I've heard Highway Star. That's about it. I'm gonna put them in never really listened to because I've only heard that one song really, and I can't even really remember it well off the top of my head. So I'm not gonna judge them. Aerosmith. Um, Aerosmith is really solid. Uh, they they're still going. Like Steven Tyler's like 150 years old now, and he looks like somebody's grandmother, but they're still rocking it. And they have an awesome roller coaster in Disney, so cool. Can't complain there. Def Leppard is trash. Um, Sorry, Sam. I know that they're your favorite band of all time and you wear their t-shirts constantly, but they're trash. And I think you know it. Iron Maiden is great. Um, Another band that's been around a long time. They're still kicking it. They're still selling out arenas all over the world, and for good reason. Bruce Dickinson is an incredible singer, and they're just such a great metal band, you know? Really cool classic stuff. Bon Jovi. I'm actually a really big fan of a lot of Bon Jovi stuff, so they're going the top of great for me. I really, some of it's like cheesy and kind of like, I don't know, probably not the best, but I don't know. They have a lot of great hits, and I will listen to them pretty frequently. Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're solid. Um, Another band that has a lot of hits. Uh, Not really the best, like, they're not really the best at anything they do, but they do write hit songs well, so I can't complain. Van Halen, they're really solid. Up on the top, solid. Their especially their early material was really good. So like I can't say they've ever been one of my favorite bands or anything, but I've really enjoyed a lot of the stuff they've written. So that's cool. I mean, everybody knows where this one's going. I'm biased, so they're gonna stay there. Nobody's gonna kick them out of the way. So yeah, Leonard Skinnerd. Um, I don't know. I think they're kind of trash. Leonard Skinner has two songs that everybody knows, and I think they're both kind of trash. Everybody loves Freebird, and I've never been a fan of it. And Sweet Home Alabama, oh my God, Sweet Home Alabama is just like, it's got a really catchy guitar riff and everything, but I'm pretty sure the song's like racist or something, so I don't know. Not a big fan of it, and I've never been a big fan of them. Black Sabbath. Um, Black Sabbath has done some great stuff. I like they're like the true fathers of heavy metal. Like Judas Priest was like the innovator. Judas Priest and Iron Maiden are like big innovators of it, but Black Sabbath like started it all pretty much. So, oh my God, I don't know what to do for this next one because while I'm personally not a fan of System of a Down, um, I don't think I could put them in. I'm not putting them in trash. I don't think I could put them in mediocre either. I'm gonna put them at the very bottom of solid, just because they've written a lot of good music, um, and they have some songs that I can like listen to, but it's just not for me. But I recognize that they're a really good band, so I'll put them in solid. The Kinks, I don't really know who that is, so they're gonna go there. Guns N' Roses, Um, Guns N' Roses is solid. They're just really overplayed. They have like a handful of like great songs, and the rest I'm just kind of like indifferent about. But I don't know. They're good. They're just not my favorite. Foo Fighters are gonna go the very top of great because that's what they are. They're a great band. Dave Grohl is the biggest rock star in the world currently, and I love everything that guy does. Especially like he just seems like he has the coolest attitude. He seems like a great guy. So yeah, I like them a lot. I think they have a lot of good songs, and they're a cool band. Queen, while they're not one of my favorites, I would say I like these two bands better. I'll put Queen here because Freddie Mercury is one of the greatest singers of all time. They have so many great hits, and they've just really stood the test of time. Look even today, Bohemian Rhapsody is still like always one of the most popular rock songs played. And that came out, what, 35 years ago? 40 years ago? Oh, 45 years ago. Oh my god. So, yeah, that's crazy. Rush. Um, I, I think they're mediocre. I've never been a fan. Like, I get what people like them. Musically, they're really cool and different. But they're just not for me. It is what it is. Soundgarden is incredible. Okay, I like Avenged Sevenfold better, but Soundgarden's going to go here. Chris Cornell is one of the best vocalists of all time. That's what, obviously, you guys are seeing what's important to me in rock. Great vocalists. One, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, uh, D, E, F, G. Like these are just some of the best vocalists who ever lived. So people might not agree about this one, but I think he's incredible. So yeah, I am a really big fan of vocals because I'm a singer. So I guess I'm a little biased. Um, the Beatles, just kidding. I think the Beatles are terrible. Everyone thinks they're like the most influential band of all time, which they probably are. Everybody grew up on the Beatles, I guess, at least before a certain time. I did a little bit, but my parents were into them kind of, but I don't know, they just never really stuck on me. So it is what it is. The Killers are solid. They have some really good songs. Uh, Aside from like their big hits, I haven't really heard too much, but their big hits are really good. So I'll put them there. Nirvana. Nirvana's great. I've been through spurts. I used to be a really big fan, and then I kind of went for a few years just like thinking they were super overrated and not that good. But I've come back around. Like I don't really ever see Kurt Cobain being referred. Sometimes I see Kurt Cobain being referred to as one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and that kind of like I don't see that. He was a good songwriter, and I'll give him that he's a solid vocalist. Like he just not greatest of all time. It's just because of how he died that people say that, I think. But he's definitely deserves a lot of credit. A lot of people are making music today because of Nirvana, so he's definitely very influential, and the band was great. So a lot of great songs. Fleetwood Mac is, I guess they're solid. I put them right around here. They're just, a lot of big hits, a lot of solid songs. Nothing I would like go out of my way to listen to, but I can't put them below that. They're not like bad or anything at all. Ooh, mediocre, I think, for Tool. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna put them at the top of mediocre. I just don't care about them at all. They're the most overhyped band for like my generation. I don't know what it is. They're great musicians. Maynard's a good singer, I guess. He's all right. I don't know. He doesn't have my favorite voice or anything, but people love them, and I just never really got into them. So I don't know. The Doors, they're solid. I grew up on the Doors. My brother was always a big fan. My parents liked them, so definitely they were doing something ahead of their time, and it's pretty cool stuff. Arctic Monkeys, I don't know who that is, so they're going here. Pantera, yeah, they're solid. I'll put them around here. They're they did some cool stuff. They were heavy. Walk's a great song, so not one of my favorites, but they're solid. Metallica, I'll put Metallica here. Metallica is awesome, especially from the early 80s until like the mid 90s. There was like almost nobody better. They wrote so many great songs, and even after they've written some good ones, but that was definitely their peak. But they're still one of my favorite bands of all time, just from that time period. Led Zeppelin. Ooh, I don't know. Whoops. Just, I don't know. Never been a fan. People think Robert Plant is one of the best singers ever. I think he's kind of whiny and annoying. And they were very influential. A lot of people very grew up on them and were very much influenced by them. But I don't know, not me. I just never really was into them. Rage Against the Machine. About there. They have a couple songs that are catchy, I guess, and hits, but never got into them. Tom Morello's a great guitar player. I'll give him that. But I'm just not a big fan of their music. And same goes for Weezer. I think they're like one of the most mediocre bands out there. I'll put them at the top of mediocre because I do like a few songs. But they're another one of those bands that people like really hype up. And I never really got it. They have a couple songs that are really, really good, but eh. The Police are, I don't know. They're mediocre. They're the bottom of mediocre. They're almost trash, but they have a couple of catchy ones, so I'll give it to them. I like Sting from WCW better. Forget about Sting from the Police. Muse, I don't really know. I've only heard like one song by Muse. I don't really know much about them, so I'm gonna put them there. Same goes for Genesis. I don't really know much about them, so I'll put them there. REM, I'll put them here. They're generally not my favorite. They're not. I don't think they're really that good, but they have some songs that are really good. They're all right. They're okay. They're like right in the middle of like what I would think of like for rock bands. So, The Clash. Um, they're definitely like one of the innovators of punk rock, which is something to be said. I won't go out of my way to listen to them, but I'll put them here out of respect, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know. They're better than this band, in my opinion, so I'm going to put this band around here. the Ramones are very influential to a lot of people, one of the innovators of punk rock again, but I don't know. I don't like what they did. Not a big fan of their music. The Cure, the Cure's solid. They had some solid stuff. I'll put them like right around here. Winding down here, Blink-182, Goat. So many great songs. Like, I'm not a fan of them with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio. Blink-182 to me is Travis Barker, Mark Hoppus, and Tom DeLonge. That is Blink-182 to me. So their last two albums or so I ignore those completely. To me, that is, plus 44 plus Alkaline Trio or whatever. It's just not the same to me. So, it is what it is. They're going to keep doing what they want to do, which is fine, but just not for me. We're going to close it out with Fall Out Boy, who, it's funny, if you asked me this a month or two ago, Fall Out Boy would probably be in trash category. But, with a project I've been working on with some friends, I've listened to them more, and I'm actually going to throw them like right around here. I think they have some really, really good songs, especially in their earlier career, the first half of their career. So, before they went on hiatus and came back with Light 'em Up, Up, Up. So, that wasn't my favorite, but they actually, the vocals are really good on their early stuff. The production was really good. And they wrote some catchy stuff, and I can't hate on it anymore. It's been too long. I've been hating on it too long. That I finally come around. So, gonna finish it off like that. Oh my God, people are gonna hate me so much. My list is gonna be so controversial, and I want to hear about it. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear how much you hate my list, and I want to hear how you would do it differently. And I want to hear what kind of lists you want to see me do after this. So, yeah. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It's very, very helpful to me. Throw some likes, even some dislikes if you really hate it that much. Comment, whatever you got to do. Tell me why my list is terrible. And yeah, thanks for watching.